And now, backed by the sole demand of my own free will, Starving Activities 2.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to do another one, so I just went ahead and did it. Most of the people from here are returnees from the last time I did one of these. Aside from Subspace Man and Dandy from Dandy's World, who have been cast out into the sea, never to be seen again. Instead, they have been replaced by... If I can remember here, Cloud 4K, famous retro studio YouTuber, and hold on, give me a minute. X1. How could I forget? So anyways, I hope you like the very early sequel to this riveting series I am starting on this channel.
The Bloodbath. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Jacob runs away from the cornucopia. Cool at 70 stays at the cornucopia for resources. Sanprista grabs a shovel. Builderman finds a bag full of explosives. Mafioso runs away from the cornucopia. Azure stabs Noli while his back is turned. Seal runs away from the cornucopia. Faisals scares Yam away from the cornucopia. Father and 1x1x1x1 fight for a bag. Father gives up and retreats. Cool Kid runs away from the cornucopia. Ozolog breaks Dusakar's nose for a basket of bread. Jane Doe runs away from the cornucopia. Chance and Cappy fight for a bag. Chance gives up and retreats. Elliot clutches a first aid kit and runs away. John Doe runs away from the cornucopia. Nishatra pushes Brandon off a cliff during a knife fight. Sean Shidletsky, Dragon Dudes 3, and Rochez share everything they gathered before running. Ouch. Nightbee Kid and Two Time fight for a bag. Nightbee Kid gives up and retreats. Chris breaks Cloud's nose for a basket of bread. Isn't Cloud going to make a video on his ARG? Trecriel grabs a sword. Taff finds a bow, some arrows, and a quiver. Flowers runs away with a lighter and some rope. And Win75B runs away from the cornucopia. Day 1. 1x1x1x1 receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Shidletsky stalks Cloud 4K. Flowers tries to spear fish with a trident. Jane Doe defeats Taff in a fight, but spares his life. Wow, can't speak today. Happy Zero runs away from Azure. Father runs away from Mafioso. Lots of chasing going around. Dragon Dudes 3 searches for firewood. Ozolog runs away from Elliot. Even more running. Senprista begs for Cool Kid to kill him. He refuses, keeping Senprista alive. Yamanot thinks about home. Two Time chases Cool at 70. Sean goes hunting. Trecriel travels to higher ground. Nightbee Kid constructs a shack. Rochez and Dusakar work together for the day. Builderman attacks JX1DX1, but he manages to escape. Chance thinks about home. Jacob fishes. Aubrey receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Seal and John Doe split up to search for resources. Win75B ambushes Chris and kills him. Wow, Chris can't catch a break. Nakshatra collects fruit from a tree. Arena event! A fire spreads throughout the arena.
Yamanot, John Doe, Azure, Dragon Dudes 3, Taff, and Sean do the best they can to survive. Sen Priesta, Ozolog, Mafioso, and Jane Doe all kill Builderman, Rachaz, Flowers, and JX1 respectively in order to utilize bodies of water safely. Oh yeah, and I forgot this. A fireball strikes Cool at 70, killing him. The same exact thing happens to Cool Kid. Win 70B, 5B, Cloud 4K, and Chance Forsaken all survive. Nightbee Kid, John Shidletsky, her from CD Archive, and 1x1x1x1 fail to find safe spots, and they all suffocate and die. Two-Time falls to the ground, but kicks Jacob hard enough to then push him into the fire. Nakshatra and Elliot. Nakshatra and Cappy kill Elliot and Trecriel in order to utilize bodies of water safely. The fire catches up to Faceless, killing her. A fireball strikes Duzakar, and Seal survives the fire. Wow, this is already more chaotic than in the first one. 19 cannon shots, and we haven't even gotten to night 1. And like, half the cast has already died. What is happening? Anyways, let's pay respects to our fallen tributes. Noli, Brandon from Brandon Works, me, my friend Chris, Coolhead70, David Builderman, Rachez313, Flowers, JX1DX1, Cool Kid, Night B Kid. Wow, not a real good day to be a kid. Telemon, Father from CD Archive, 1x1x1x1, Jacob CD Archive, Elliot Forsaken, Trecriel, Aubrey, who had a face, Lulz, and Dusakar. Yeah, more than half of our tributes have already died. What is going on? Anyways, we shall move on to night 1. John Doe screams for help. Claude 4K, Nakshatra, M, and Maple Yam discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Seal climbs a tree to rest. Mafioso attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Sean stays awake all night. Jane Doe thinks about home. Sen Priesta, Dragon Dudes 3, Taff, Two-Time, and Chance sleep in shifts. Win 75B, he stays awake all night. Ozolog dies of dysentery. Cappy screams for help, and Azure stays awake all night. Day Z. Sean explores the arena. Jane Doe makes a slingshot. Taff discovers a river. Azure, Chance, John Doe, and Maple Yam raid Win75B's camp while she is hunting. Cloud and Two-Time hunt for other tributes. Mafioso attacks Sen Priesta, but he manages to escape. Dang. Priesta, if you're watching this, do you have debts to pay? Seal Directory discovers a cave. Nakshatra catches Dragon Dudes 3 off guard and kills him. Cappy Zero dies from hypothermia. 3 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Ozlog 1, Dragon Dudes 3, and Cappy 0. All that's missing is the number 2. Taff stays awake all night. Nishatra cooks her food before putting her fire out. Chance poisons 2 times drink, but mistakes it for his own and dies. Dang, Chance was planning a sabotage. Win75B and John Doe run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Cloud 4K dies from hypothermia. Seal Directory decapitates Senprista with a sword. Azure is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Mafioso goes to sleep. Sean quietly hums. Jane Doe heads up camp for the night, and Yamanot dies of dysentery. And with that, it's time for the feast. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Azure and Mafioso get into a fight over raw meat, but Azure gives up and runs away. Two Time decides not to go to the feast. Sean sets an explosive off, killing Jane Doe. Taff decides not to go to the feast. Win75B, John Doe, Seal Directory, and Nashatra team up to grab food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs. Day 3. Mafioso searches for firewood. Azure begs for Seal to kill her. He refuses, keeping Azure alive. Nashatra overhears Two Time and Win75B talking in the distance. John Doe makes a slingshot. Sean discovers a river. Taff receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. 5 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Gambler, Cloud 4K, Senprista, Maple Yam, and Jane Doe. Night 3. Win75B tends to 2 times wounds. Seal and Mafioso fight Azure and John Doe. Seal and Mafioso survive. Nashatra defeats Sean in a fight, but spares his life. Taff receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Day 4. Sean hunts for other tributes. Win75B practices her archery. Mafioso sprains his ankle while running away from Nashatra. Seal Directory searches for a water source, and Taff scares Two Time off. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Azure from Forsaken and Jonathan Doe. Night 4. Taff tries to treat his infection. Two Time receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Sean sets up camp for the night. Mafioso receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Nashatra tends to her wounds. Win75B quietly hums, and Seal receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Wow, dying really has slowed down a lot, hasn't it? Day 5. Sean collects fruit from a tree. Nashatra travels to higher ground. Seal Directory begs for Win75B to kill him. She refuses, keeping Seal alive. Two Time tries to sleep through the entire day. Mafioso and Taff work together for the day. No cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Night 5. Mafioso loses sight of where he is. Two Time destroys Sean's supplies while he is asleep. Seal Directory and Nashatra talk about the tribute still alive. Taff thinks about home. Win75B receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Day 6. Taff injures himself. Nashatra makes a wooden spear. Two Time bashes Sean's head in with a mace. Seal Directory thinks about home. Mafioso makes a slingshot. Win75B practices her archery.
Huh. A computer virus becoming a master archer. What an unforeseen occurrence.
A single cannon shot can be heard in the distance, and that goes
For Sean Seal Directory. May he rest in peace.
Night 6. Two-Time receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Win75B attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Mafioso pushes Taff off a cliff during a knife fight. Seal destroys Nishatra's supplies while she is asleep.
Day 7. Seal Directory, Two-Time Forsaken, Mafioso, and Win75B form a suicide pact, killing themselves.
And after these 5 cannon shots, boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, we forgot about her. The winner, by the way, is Nishatra from District 9. Well, that was a very chaotic, Hunger Games. That is a sequel that did not end how I expected it to. I hope you enjoyed this one as much as you did the first, or more than the first, actually. Bye.